let's jump into CapEx real quick just because we're right here. Okay, the largest single line item is for our roofs at $369,000. Let me talk about that for a second. The roofs are old. They've got wind damage, and they're in rough shape. But they're old, and there's no insurance claim we can have for that $360,000. Okay? We have some options. We can buy the property and go invest $360,000 and fix all the roofs right off the bat. Okay? But what do we have a lot of in Texas? Hail. Pray for hail, and we can get an insurance claim. We can probably save that $360,000. So now we weigh in the fact that when we buy a property, we know we fix everything. So we have a roof we know needs to be replaced. We have to budget for $360,000 to replace the roof. Now, we can also say we go in there and use that $360,000 and fix the roof right now. But there are some leaks, and we do have some repairs that need to be done. The alternative, spend a little bit of money fixing whatever we can and cross our fingers and hope for hail. Okay? And maybe go 3 or 4 or 5, 6 months. When is the biggest hail? In May? April, May? What's that? In the third month? 23rd of March. That was the big hailstorm. Okay. So March, April, and May. Maybe we go ahead and wait until May before spending that $360,000, $370,000, because maybe we can then save that. Or we go and spend it now. So just out of curiosity, just as a straw poll, who would go ahead and fix the roof now? Let the record show that the roofer is the only one who raised his hand. Okay. How about are the leaks? How about are the leaks, Ken? Yeah, just minor. Yeah. So we'll have a little bit of repairs on that. So our maintenance expense would go up a little bit. But you know what? It's worth taking a risk for another 6 months to, 6 months? 6, 7 months. Was that barking? What the heck was that? I swear I thought a chihuahua was in here. Okay. Sorry, completely distracted. Apologize. Okay, so $369,000. Why is insurance covers a loss? It's just old.
But you still have the roof insurance, right?
We still have roof insurance, yes. That's why we're waiting for hail. So that the insurance company can pay for it. Normal wear and tear they don't cover, otherwise this would be great. Okay. How old is the roof? Any idea? 15 years? It's impossible. That's what I think. Doesn't seem possible. I agree. But either way, let's jump back on here. Okay. What?
How much did the roof cost at Riverbend? Anybody know? No? Many Riverbend people know? $430,000. How many units at Riverbend? 161. 161. How much does the roof cost at Brookside? 369,000. How many units? 380. Why? How can that be? 3 stories. 3 stories. And a better roof deal, right?
And a bit. Okay, he's trying to be tricky, and you didn't fall for it. They're smarter than you think. Okay. Now, of course, we go in there and look at the property and do due diligence, and just like the roofer wants to replace the roof, you know what the contractor wants to replace? Everything, exactly. Okay, so wants to replace the siding, wants to replace all the wood, and so we have to scale it back and say, look, you know what, it's not that bad, it's in good shape, it's recently painted, so we cannot afford to go in there because we don't have this huge rent increase that we can do to help pay for all this stuff, that we say, okay, it's not that bad. We can go ahead and do, and that makes it even sound worse than it is. It's in good shape, but there will be some repairs that we need to make on some rotten wood and some areas that we need to fix, just like the roof. So we're going to be fixing that on the exterior rather than replacing the whole thing. And so, well, even on here, we've still got replacing everything on this particular budget. 224 is some of the siding? We're going to be negotiating that some. Okay, we've got retaining walls in there, pavement, stairs. This is one of the things that happens. If you go walk a property, something nobody ever does, well, let me rephrase. Something we do, but something you might miss, is the stairs will go up to a landing, to another set of stairs, especially if there's no cover on it. Just take your head and poke your head underneath and look at how those are all rusted out. Okay, so that happens on this property too. There's some of those that are rusted out or have rust damage, that we have to fix some of those. And they shake, so we need some stability on those. Interiors, of course, we have to update the interiors, so $556,000 in interiors. Air conditioners, we have this on every property. Ironwork. No. No, we have a spray-on that looks like granite, looks really nice, and that's what we use, and that's what we're budgeting in there. Here's the whole thing. You could go as far as you want to go. I mean, we could spend $50,000 a unit if we wanted to. We wouldn't get any of our money out of it. So you've got to go as far as you can to go ahead and have it paid for, and so that wouldn't really work. Perimeter fence repairs, fire alarms, $107,000. Let's find out what exactly 107 is on fire alarms. Thank God. Okay. I was like, what in the heck is happening with fire alarms? Okay. Office remodel. This is the lowest budget Vicky's ever had for an office. That's because it's already so nice. It's already remodeled. It has a pool table. It has a fitness center. It has a business center. It's nice. It's decked out. And there is granite in there, yes.
Is that building sprinklers?
Okay. In the 80s, they required 3-story buildings to have a central fire alarm. So you'll see little sensors that stick out, but it's not sprinkled. There's one building that had a fire, and that building is sprinkled, but the other ones are not. They just have the central fire alarm. And you've got to make sure when they paint those, by the way, they don't paint those little things that stick down, because then you have to go back and replace them all. Yes, sir? The deductible on replacing the roof, do you know off the top of your head?
No, it just varies. It goes to when we negotiate the insurance policy. Typically, they're at least 10,000, up to 25 or 50.
Okay, we used to have a deductible of $10,000 for wind and hail, but the insurance rates have gotten so crazy that that's bumped up. It might be 1% now. So you're talking about, 35 to 50 grand. And we have to do whatever we can to keep the insurance costs down. Let's see here, where was erosion control? $96,000 in foundation work. They've already had 3 or 4 buildings worked on, and there's a couple more that need to have some work. There is a creek that runs, not really a creek, more of a drainage canal, but any golfers? Okay, when you're putting, where does the ball go toward? It goes toward the water. So do the buildings. Okay, so the buildings will slide toward the water wherever you are. So if you ever have water or a creek or anything like that, look for the possibility of that sliding that direction. Plumbing, we always have some type of mechanical problem. So we've got $37,000 budgeted for that. Permits and fees, $18,000, and miscellaneous $25,000. So this total is $1,939,000. In the PPM, I have $2 million even. There's always a little. We'll take a little away from this one and bump it up there or lower it or take some of the siding out of there, you know, put it somewhere else. Who knows? We might, and a lot of this stays real fluid. Until we, and quite honestly, it changes even after we buy the property sometime. We'll get in there and look closer and closer and closer and start having a discussion. One of the discussions might be, how bad do we want to spend that amount of money on siding when we might say, let's go ahead and bump up our budget and put in granite countertops if we can get the money for them, or something along those lines. Those are all discussions that are ongoing. Everything is fluid, okay? It's not like new construction where you have engineers drawing out every single detail and then having somebody else build it. This is a cost-benefit analysis a little bit, okay? And some of that, when we get in there and find out what people are saying, because when you take over a property, what also happens? When the residents find out there's new owners and new management, what happens? They all come in and complain. All of a sudden, there's a ton of things wrong, okay? And that's something we might also determine, right?
Darwin, was that property built with the Hardy Backer product, or is it failed?
No. This is 80s construction. It's all masonite. Okay, masonite's just a fancy word for cardboard. I'm exaggerating, but yeah, it's not a great product. When we go back with a Hardy product. But anything built in the 80s is masonite. Be sure to visit us at darwingerman.com. There you can register for all of our information and see all of the videos. And make sure to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos.